Hola and welcome to my dating tips for women, how to know for sure if he's just not that into you. I've been divorced for nearly 8 years now and I've done my fair share of dating. When I first got divorced after being with my ex-husband for 21 years, I actually had no idea what I was doing. I was worse off than when I first started dating in high school because at least back then I knew that I didn't know anything about dating and the boys that I was dating didn't really know anything either. But now I was in my early 40s and I thought I had a clue. But the dating world had changed so much. The dating pool was so much more shallow and filled with emotionally damaged sharks just waiting to attack the fresh catch that had just been thrown in. Plus, I was trying my hand at online dating for the very first time. Yikes! Let me just say I've learned a ton along the way. Find yourself in this very dilemma and you're trying to figure things out, you should definitely watch my videos on online dating. Today, I'm not talking specifically about online dating. The topic actually applies to organic dating as well. It's one of the quintessential dating dilemmas. Does he really like me? How can I tell? I keep getting mixed messages. I'm going to begin by saying that I'm a heterosexual cisgender woman, so my advice will come from that perspective and therefore apply mostly to others of the same sexual orientation and gender identity. Additionally, I'm providing advice to women who are looking for an actual relationship, not a hookup or a fling. I really don't have any experience with that approach to dating. And just a little more about my approach. I'm all about self-love and being true to yourself. So if you're looking for dating advice that's centered around getting the guy, there are other YouTube channels that can help you out with that. See the links in my description. My dating advice is always going to be centered around your best interests, how to stay safe, how not to betray yourself, and how to always keep your dignity intact. This short video, I'm going to give you 7 common signs that he's not that into you. And as a bonus, I'm going to tell you what to do about it, so make sure you watch until the end. Chicas Poderosas, I'm Mari Rosas, and this is my YouTube channel, Chica Power, where you learn how to fall in love with yourself first. Just want to take a minute here and ask a favor. If you like this video and find it helpful, please give it a like, and please, por favor, subscribe to my channel. You can also ring the bell to sign up for notifications so you'll know every time I upload a new video. So you're not sure whether he really likes you because you're getting mixed signals, right? It's so confusing. What does his hot and cold behavior mean? Let's see, is he doing any of the following? Number 1 is he texts you sporadically and there are often long delays in his responses. Or he rarely initiates contact, he responds to your texts, but rarely texts you first. When a man is really interested in you, you're on his mind constantly. And it shows because he contacts you consistently. He wants to share his thoughts and experiences with you. And his texting and calling patterns are going to be tangible proof of that. Number 2 is he doesn't make plans with you ahead of time. He always seems to ask you out last minute. When a man is really into you, he wants to reserve your time in advance because he wants to make sure he has plans to spend time with you before you go on and make other plans. If he's asking you out last minute, it may be because his other plans fell through or nothing that he considers to be quote unquote better came along. It's not confusing really. Do not be available to him last minute, and whatever you do, do not cancel any plans that you may have already made to be with him. Remember, people will treat you the way you allow them to treat you, and you're too good for that. Number 3 is he does make plans with you and maybe in advance, but he cancels often. This goes hand in hand with number 2. He makes plans with you but cancels because something he considers to be quote unquote better presented itself after he made plans with. I'm not saying that there aren't legitimate reasons for people to cancel a date. I've done it. I'm sure you've done it. We all have things that come up. But if it's a real pattern with him, it's not likely to be a coincidence. Or if you met him on a dating app, you see that he's active on there every time you log in. Granted, if you haven't had that let's be exclusive conversation yet, you are both free to date other people. But when a man is serious about you, he isn't out there constantly looking for someone better. You really like this guy. Are you out there actively, constantly looking for someone better? Exactly. Number 5 is he's hot and cold. He seems to be really into you when you're together, but then he falls off the radar for long periods of time, days upon days. Again here, when a man is truly crazy about you, you're constantly on his mind. So he's not going to be consistently inconsistent. Men do need their space from time to time. They aren't like us. And sometimes it comes after they've spent a lot of time with us or you've really connected together emotionally. I know that can be difficult and a little bit scary for us women, but I always say give him his space. He'll come back full force when he's ready, if he's really into you. But if this is the norm with him, he's regularly pushing you away and or disappearing, dead silence for days, then it's not really a good sign. Number 6 is he doesn't take you out on dates. He only wants to hang out at home. This kind of behavior is super obvious, chicas. When a man is serious about you, he's going to court you. He wants to impress you and show you how much you mean to him. He also wants to be seen in public with you. He wants to see you in that little black dress and high heels. He wants to show you off. All he ever wants to do is hang out at home. He's basically just looking for a regular hookup. Think about it. You can't hook up with him in a public place. The fact that he isn't willing to spend any money on you, that means he's just not that into you. Number 7 is he hasn't introduced you to any of his friends or family. Similar to number 6, when a guy is really crazy about you, he can't wait to introduce you to his friends. He's eager to show you off and see if you get along with the people that are really important in his life. This brings one of my favorite rom-coms to mind, the Sarah Jessica Parker Matthew McConaughey flick, Failure to Launch. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. The Matthew McConaughey character takes the Sarah Jessica Parker character along for a paintball shooting outing with his friend. It's a great scene. It's basically a test to see if she gets along with his friends and or vice versa. She passes with flying colors when she brings in the win for her team. I myself would not have passed that test. The only time I ever went paintball shooting, I was having a great time until I sprained my stupid ankle running over a foxhole and had to spend the rest of the outing sitting it out with an ice pack on my ankle. I digress, but I think I already made my point. If he keeps you hidden from his friends and family and you've already been going out for a few months, he's not really expecting that you're going to be in his life for much longer. I'm going to be honest here, chicas. If you're ever truly wondering whether a man really likes you or not, it usually means that he doesn't. When a man really likes you, he shows you. Men are socialized and raised to be the initiators in relationships, and they typically love the chase. So if he isn't chasing you, he isn't into you. I'm a huge advocate of women's rights, and I am an independent modern woman. But when it comes to dating, I'm a bit old-fashioned. I believe that men should be doing the chasing in a relationship, not women. In fact, a lot of men find being chased by a woman to be very unattractive unless they're looking for a hookup, and then it could be very sexy for the short term. I always let the man take the lead and set the tempo in a relationship. If I find that his lead and or his tempo isn't working for me after a while, I just bow out gracefully and respectfully. But what if you really, really like this guy? He checks off most, if not all, of your boxes. Well, I can tell you one important box he's not checking off, chicas. And if this isn't already on your list, you need to add it ASAP. He isn't treating you the way your fine ass deserves to be treated. And that, my dears, in my book, is a deal breaker. The first thing you need to do is do not take it personally. Your self-esteem does not need to take a hit here unless you allow it to. He's just not the right one for you. The man who is right for you is going to be just as into you as you are into him. Take a minute here and think about a man from your past that was really crazy about you, but you didn't return those feelings for him. You really liked hanging out with him. Maybe you didn't. He may have been a great guy. He may have been really good looking, smart, funny, but you just didn't have those feelings for him. He may have even been really sexy and you were physically attracted to him, but he just wasn't the one. Does the fact that he wasn't the right one for you make him any less of a man or any less of a good catch for someone else? No, it doesn't. So conversely, the fact that this guy that you really, really like isn't that into you does not reduce your value in any way. Furthermore, if he isn't that into you, he's likely not allowing you to see his vulnerable side or his real self. So you don't even know the real him. When an emotionally healthy man falls in love or is falling in love, he lets his guard down with you. And you get to see sides of him that no one else gets to see. This is what you really want. I'm digressing again. So what do? After not taking it personally, you just need to let go and move on, chicas. Take a little advice from our friend Lizzo. If he don't love you anymore, then walk your fine ass out the door. He's not giving you the best of him, so he doesn't deserve to get the best of you. I know that this may sound difficult to hear, chicas, but if your goal here is to find your Mr. Right, stop wasting your time with Mr. Right now, or worse yet, Mr. Yeah Right. Take some time to focus on yourself and giving yourself that love that you know that you deserve. Have really truly fallen in love with yourself, it's gonna take a really amazing man who treats you the right way to improve on that, and you will never waste your time with half-ass loving again. Well, that's it for today, chicas. If you've been watching my videos, you know that I like to end with a refrán, which is a wise Latina saying or adage. Today's nugget of wisdom is no es oro todo lo que reluce, which is very similar to the adage, all that glitters isn't gold. A man who returns your affections at your same level is worth his weight in gold. But the one who's putting in minimal effort or giving you the hot and cold treatment is just a nice little nugget of fool's gold. And you're no fool, chica. I hope you enjoyed this video. If so, give it a like and subscribe to my channel. And please, por favor, give me your comments and your questions down below. I read and respond to them all. Besos y abrazos a todas. Hugs and kisses to all. Mwah.